Happy Friday. We're going to go back. We're going to touch Socrates today. And we're just going to take this little feature of, do you think Socrates committed treason? And so usually one time in each chapter, guys, they have a little add-on thing about one of the lessons we talk about. Many times we just skip it. Today we're going to talk about it because I think it's a great topic. I talked a lot about it on Wednesday, and we're answering this essential question: how do new ideas change the way people live? Socrates caused such a change among the young people that the leaders said, he needs to go. So they're going to give you a brief introduction of what we talked about on Wednesday with it, and then they're going to give you two different arguments of yes, he committed treason, and no, he didn't commit treason, and then you're going to make your decision for that. Got your notes ready to rock? It says this: after Athens lost the Peloponnesian War, there was a period of political disorder in the city-state. So political disorder. The politicians, there was conflict. The Athenian leaders, therefore, number 2, restricted free speech to help keep peace and order in Athens. Socrates was critical of the decision of limited free speech. In other words, he did not think it was a good idea, and he spoke out against it. So he taught his students to question everything and to think for themselves. So number 3 in your notes, question everything, think for yourselves. The Athenian leaders felt his criticisms were a threat. They thought that his influence with the young people was dangerous. They accused Socrates of misleading students by teaching them to question authority. Following a trial, Socrates was found guilty of treason, and he was sentenced to death. So number 4 in your notes. Guys, you think about it today, it's still the same thing today. A lot of politicians fire up and get, college kids really excited. And college kids are very passionate people. They're in college, so they think they know a lot. And so they go out and they fight for their politician. The problem is they haven't really had a real job yet. They haven't lived by themselves yet. They haven't supported a family yet. And so there's a lot of things they really don't know. And yet it's kind of hard to tell a college kid that. And so that's what the leaders were worried about. Socrates, you're polluting the young mind who doesn't know how to think for itself yet, and yet they're really excited and they're going out there and doing things. And so he was sentenced to death. We know, obviously, guys, that he had the ability to leave Athens. He turned it down, he drank poison, and he passed away. Now, do you think it was the right thing? Number here is, did Socrates commit treason? This guy thinks yes. Here's your primary source. Socrates is guilty of corrupting the young. Did not Socrates cause his students to despise the established laws? His words tended to incite the young to treat with scorn, to despise, to have contempt the established constitution, rendering these young people violent and stubborn. Socrates taught sons to pour harsh criticism upon their fathers by persuading his young friends that he could make them wiser than their fathers, or by pointing out that the law allowed a son to sue his father for unsoundness of mind and to imprison him. So, guys, you can see this guy's like, we got to get rid of him. Look what everything he's doing. He's ruining our society. He's making kids disrespect their father and be able to say he's crazy, put him in prison. Now, before I say, whoa, Socrates, the answer is yes, you deserve to die, I see who's doing it. This is Socrates' accusers, Meletus, Anytus, and Lycon. Okay? So, written by a different person, guys, but I'm on trial. These are the 3 people going against Socrates on trial. So, okay, maybe I don't quite believe this all the way because it's Socrates' 3 greatest enemies. Let's see what the no has to say. Men of Athens, I honor and love you, but I shall obey God rather than you. And while I have life and strength, I will never cease from the practice and teaching of philosophy, urging anyone I meet, saying, my friend, a citizen of the great and mighty and wise city of Athens, are you not ashamed of heaping so much money and honor and reputation and caring so little about wisdom and truth? And the greatest improvement of the soul, which you never regard or pay attention to at all. For I do nothing but go about persuading you all, old and young alike, not to take thought of your persons and your properties, but to care about the greatest improvement of the soul. This is my teaching. And if this is the doctrine which corrupts the youth, I'm a mischievous person. But if any one that this is not my teaching, he is speaking an untruth. Wherefore, O men of Athens, I say to you, whichever you do, understand that I shall never alter my ways, not even if I have to die many times. The No, said by Socrates himself, written by his student Plato. So what Socrates got in there, guys, is a few things he's being accused of. You're ruining the youth. He says, man, I talk to anybody, young and old alike, and I just tell them to try to improve their brain. He called it his soul, guys. You're thinking, all you guys care about in Athens is your money and your power. You care on the outside. I am focusing on the inside. If that's wrong, then call me guilty. And you know what? I'm never going to change my ways. In other words, would you do it different if you had to do it all over again? Nope, I'll die. How about the next time? If you had another chance, a second chance, we do it? Nope, I die. I'm going to continue to teach that ways. That's how strongly Socrates felt in what he felt. Okay, so you got two things to do today, guys. Number one, you're down here. You just read these two, and you are going to say, yep, he committed treason. He stirred up the youth to question their leaders. I think he should have been killed, and I'm going to support it using 50 words or these lines. Or, nope, I don't think he deserved to die. I think he was just giving education. It challenged the government, but it wasn't like he was against his government. Support your answer. What I'm really interested in, guys, is number 5. Let's apply it to our lives now. Do you think the government should ever restrict free speech? And support your answer or give examples to demonstrate why you think what you do. And guys, I talked on Wednesday about this, and I'm going to give you a few more examples and slow yourselves down and just make you think your way through if we should have free speech or not. Okay, and please understand free speech. Guys, free speech does not give me the right to say anything I want to say. If I walk into an airport with a backpack on and I yell, I have a bomb, I'm sure I will get arrested right away. I hope I get arrested right away. I can't go to court and say, oh, I'm sorry, it's free speech. I can say whatever I want. Nope, I can't make threats like that, guys, okay? So please understand there's a difference between free speech and making threats, and threats are taken very seriously. Now, what we struggle with in America, and what I'm getting at with this question is, what is the line between a threat and free speech? So I have in my teaching career, we'll have a lot of students say, I'm going to get in a fight, or I'm going to knock you out. Well, if I go, really? Oh, I was just kidding, Mr. Bauer. Should I let that go, or should the kid get in trouble? So that's what I want you thinking about, guys. Where should we do that? Now, I want you to think that on a bigger level. Some countries around the world, they don't have news television. Television is produced by the government. Now, why does the government produce television? Well, then it doesn't badmouth the government, right? And so we'd say, man, I hate that. If the government's doing something bad, we should hear about it. And yet, guys, what I want you to think about is, are you confused last month, especially when you were listening to the commercials on the TV on who's telling the truth? Would it be better if we restricted that and said, here is the one agency that could produce it? What I would love to do is I would love to take 3 Democrats and 3 Republicans and say, you guys are in charge of the news every night. You have to agree on how we're going to give the news, because I always feel if you hear it from one side, it's one way. You hear it from the other side, it's the complete opposite. And I'm stuck in the middle going, I don't know what the truth is. So which side is lying to me? I don't know. And so often we pick a side, guys, and then we just believe everything that comes from that side and think everything from the other side is a lie. Wouldn't it be cool to get the truth? Okay, so I talked quite a bit. I want you to do some thinking on that one, on what should be it. And maybe if you want to take the word, I left the word government in there, guys. In other words, should we make rules about this? But maybe in your world, think, should the school make rules about what I can say or not? Or should my parents make certain rules? Should society? I mean, we usually go with the word government with that to help you understand that. But tell me what you think with that when your goal is to give it in paragraph form of getting these lines used up, or 50 words, so I can see how you think. All right, that's it for today. Have a great weekend.